What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. You guys already know I'm super excited about this comic. This is G.O.D.S, One World Under Doom. Now, we already kind of see the effects of Doom taking over Earth and becoming Emperor, facing the things like Dormammu and so on and so forth. But what about the cosmic scale? What about the powers that be? The natural order of things? These are the two forces that shape all of existence. All of this explained in the God series by Jonathan Hickman that if you have not read, you need to go read. I have videos, check it out. But for those that don't want to go into it, the beginning of this comic kind of catches you up on what's going on. We pick up with Maya, and before the God series took place, she was kind of just a regular everyday person. But now she's what is called a Chained Apprentice. And her boss is Win. He is the avatar of the powers that be. And their relationship is kind of rather unique. So the way that this works is that there's two organizations. There's the powers that be, that is Win. Now he is the avatar and the soul avatar. But then there's the natural order of things. More of a science-based ideology. With Win being the avatar, he's been granted immortality. But Maya doesn't have the same privilege. The job of a Chained Apprentice is kind of to follow him around and make sure that he stays in check. She's tasked with following him around by the science god to keep an eye on the magic god. That's pretty much how it works out. This is all part of an ancient compact that really prevents war or reality from collapsing and all kinds of other stuff. Now, Maya's having a hard time with Win. The truth is, Win isn't a very attentive mentor. He's not paying attention, he's not really helping her learn magic or anything that he's supposed to be doing. But Win tells her that we're gonna have to argue about this later, because right now, the world is ending. When Maya asks if it's up to me and you to save it, he says 100%. Well, more like 95, maybe 80%. The natural order of things would probably peg it at like 66% because they're so literal. But before we go, we're gonna need one more person. With Win opening up a portal, this is what brings him to Doom. And this is just a glimpse at how powerful the powers that be can truly be as the Avatar. Win coming in and saying that he's led to understand that it is now Emperor of the world. When Doom tries to tell him that he can't, Win tells him like, I already have, like it's already too late, I'm here. Now of course, Doom knows who he is. Sir Redwin, Avatar of the power that be. Doom wants to know why you're here, why you're trampling through all of my magical defenses as if they're not even there. He tells him to speak quickly because he has many scientific measures that can go against him, ones that he's barely holding back as is. And Maya making her introduction, to be honest, she doesn't know what to say. In the presence of the Emperor of the world, she's never been so afraid in her life. Just standing next to Doom, he exudes strength, confidence, and a look in his eyes. You can tell that he's holding back the rage. But this is when Doom tells Win that you lied to me. You said that this is your Chained Apprentice, but I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. You don't think I can detect the magically attuned aspects of her. This girl is no mere proxy to a petty god. This is a young, untrained sorceress. This is when he has to explain to Doom, yes, technically she's a sorcerer, but long story short, she has magical potential, she was recruited to the science side, but then her magical growth forever stunted because she's my trained apprentice. It's a whole thing. Yeah, it's a kinda you had to be there to understand it. By all accounts though, she is not a true proxy to the natural order of things. In the grand scheme of things, the gods don't look that closely at these things. As long as the spirit of the agreement is maintained, the fine print isn't an absolute necessity. Now, Doom's like, alright, dude, I don't care. I don't care about your drama. I don't care about all that BS that you got going on. I want to know why you're here. But I'm also interested in Maya. Combine science and magic. Very few in this world ever do, save for Doom. Doom sees potential. But this is when Win goes on to explain, look, Emperor or whatever you want to call yourself. The powers that be doesn't care who runs the world, but there are duties as a Sorcerer Supreme, ones that you need to be performing, and ones that you have neglected to do, because there are magical symbols, sigils that sustain within the sun's core. Those sigils are there to keep certain demons, who famously love hellfire and heat, away from the sun. Without them, said demons would devour the sun from inside out, an orgy of consumption. These sigils are failing. They've already begun to decay, and now they can't be repaired, at least not from Earth. To fix these, they must be re-enchanted. You gotta do this from inside the sun's core. And Doom knows that everything he says is true. Now, this is where Maya gets a little ticked off. Because yes, this is the job of Sorcerer Supreme, but when also let it get to this point? Like, how are you so irresponsible that you let something so necessary for everybody depend on a single person? More than that, you waited until everything was pretty much destroyed before you came to Doom to tell him to do his job. While Doom says that Maya, relax, while your anger towards him is completely justified, it's gonna take all three of us to get this job done. As Wynn opens up his spell, we see the three of them transported to the sun. And this is where they begin the work, working on one sigil at a time. We have Maya that goes up and helps Doom. And while this is happening, we see a great conversation between Maya and Doom. Now, she's seen Doom as a danger, as a violent, dangerous individual. I mean, he took over the freaking world. But in the presence of Doom, she's had nothing but compliments. Doom has been nothing but respectful. As Doom shows her how to use this magic, she does mention, like, Wynn never shows me any of this. He expects me to figure it out on my own. And she says, or Doom says, I'm not him. I'm Doom. But I noticed your magic is stunted. While Wynn told you that your wings were clipped, magic is powered by the unshakable belief that one's spells will work. It's one of the reasons that Doom is Sorcerer Supreme. The problem you're having, you don't have faith in your own spellcasting. You're believing what everybody is telling you. I don't care what Wynn says. I don't care what the gods say. Don't let others prescribe you to the borders of your own potential. And Maya thinks to herself, like, despite everything she has heard about this man, she actually likes Doom. Like, Doom even goes as far as calling her apprentice, and not necessarily in the degrading, I don't know your name kind of way that Wynn does it, but in a I'm your mentor kind of way. But as the demons come in, we have Wynn and Maya that hold them off. Doom works on the sigils that will ban them completely. But until then, the two of them have to hold off the horde. Knowing that Doom is unafraid, knowing that Doom has faith in her, that Doom trusts her, she refuses to let Doom down, banishing the demons back from whence they came. They get off a final spell before they are taken away. An incantation that will neutralize all of their magic. The sigils are immune, but the bubbles are collapsing. In the blink of an eye, the flames overtake them. And all three of them would have been dead had it not been for Doom. You see, Doom didn't rely solely on magic. He created a device before he left that would activate had something like this happened. They became intangible. Thus, they remained untouched when the Maelstrom surrounded them. And Wynn says, like, that's great. That's fantastic. I'm glad you're able to use science to keep us alive for what? Another 20 minutes? 15 minutes and then we're dead. How long before your battery runs out? Your device that can't send us back to Earth. That's when Doom tells him that we have 3 minutes. This is when Doom's like, homie, I'd watch your mouth. I'd hold your tongue, because you're not going to keep talking to me like this. That's when Wynn tells him, I would advise you, Emperor Doom, that the next time you want to find yourself and build yourself a plan B, maybe try to think a little bit more ahead. And this is when Doom attacks him, and he tells Wynn that you don't speak to me in this manner. Of course I thought ahead, but how dare you tell me to think ahead? You let this problem fester until it required us to travel to the very core of the sun to fix it. You immortals, you float above us. You become accustomed to this, not even concerning about anything around you. You surrender any responsibility you have to care. And Win tells him, like, I care very much. I care because in a few minutes, you two will die. But as you said, I'm immortal. I will sit here and burn forever. And Doom looks over to Maya and he tells her to witness this. This is the value of death. It may put terrible limits on our potential. It may rob us of those that we love, but in return, it gives them the gift of ensuring that men like Win, they can trouble them only fleetingly. And if he cannot die, he can at least suffer. This is where we see Doom teleport out of here, letting Win know that he's got 67 seconds left. They, however, have all the time in the world. And so teleporting them back, Doom created two devices. One of his person to render them temporarily intangible, and the other, a teleport back to the castle. But Maya says, like, what about Win? I don't care if he doesn't care about me. I don't want him to suffer. I don't want him to burn for eternity, even if he is an asshole to me. This is when Doom says, then ask. Go ahead and ask me. Today you've earned a favor. I can save him and may even choose to. All you have to do is ask me to do it. But Maya says no. Thank you, but no. Because I don't want him to suffer, but I also don't want to be the kind of person that owes Doom a favor. And as we're taken to some time later, we pick up with Win at the front door of Maya's place. And Win's trying to figure out, like, how the heck did you do this? How is this possible? And Maya did this by finding her own way. She suspected that the sun's demon curse couldn't last forever, and it didn't. It wore off after a few weeks. In the meantime, she had been researching teleportation magic. She developed a spell that would grab someone from the recent past and pluck them back home into the present. So she pretty much grabbed Win right before he was about to burn for eternity and brought him to the present so that he wouldn't suffer at all. And Win had gone to Doom first, believing that Doom was the one responsible for saving him. But Doom wanted her to know that he's impressed. And he tells her that I think Doom might be in the market for an apprentice. But this is where he also lets her know, like, look, what Doom said about me, he wasn't wrong. I do tend to float above all of it, untouched. I mean, me and the powers that be, we do great work, but we don't have any skin in the game for mortal life. And that does change things a bit. Maybe that's where the apprentice comes into be. Maybe you're supposed to be here to help keep us grounded, to remind us of the mortals that are still living lives. And so I owe you an apology, because when you've lived as long as I have, when you've had as many apprentices as I have, you see them come and go. Sometimes you just don't get bothered to learn their names. And so he apologizes. Doom saw something in you I should have seen a long time ago. Even though I know you can't technically quit, thanks to being the whole Chained Apprentice thing. He tells her that things will be different moving forward. And Maya agrees. She says things will be different moving forward. That I'm not gonna be your apprentice any longer. From now on, we're gonna be equals. Doom saw the value in me. He wouldn't allow himself to be less than anyone else around him, and I'm not gonna do the same either. You're gonna teach me, and I'm gonna teach you. We work together as equals. And you said it before, the gods, they don't care about the small details. They don't care about the fine print. We're working together, and that's all that they really care about. And Maya knew that if this was going to work, there had to be at least one last thing that he has to do. Something that she shouldn't have to ask for. And so yes, this was all a test. Maya wasn't sure if this is the path that she wanted to go. But after Doom, after everything, she is fully confident. Moving forward, this is what she wants. And her and Win, they will be partners from here on out. That is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. An absolutely great story. Now you guys know I love Jonathan Hickman's G.O.D.S. I love the character Win. I feel he's very John Constantine for the Marvel Universe. But I also love this because it's essentially saying, like, the cosmic entities, the cosmic beings, the gods, they don't give two craps that Doom is Emperor. They don't care anything about what's going on, as long as their orders are maintained. As long as everything they have is straight and narrow, they don't care. I mean, hell, Win shows up and he's like, oh yeah, I guess you're Emperor now, Doom, whatever, yada yada yada. Also, you're Sorcerer Supreme, so you need to be going and doing this job. This job I forgot to remind you about, and now it's gotten really bad and the world's probably gonna end if we don't go fix it right now. But this issue was a lot of fun, and it does appear that Doom's looking for an apprentice. Maya definitely wouldn't be a bad one, but something tells me that he's probably not gonna go with her, but I am interested to see who would he deem worthy to take under his wing, an heir to the Doom Empire. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that is going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always join the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.